Morning.
Hello, y'all. It's Adventure Time with the Texas Mom. I'm Sonia, the Texas Mom, and today I have a special guest. I have my friend Tabitha with me.
Hello.
And joining the Texas Tornadoes, Carter and Logan, is Carson. And so we are going out to explore South Llano River State Park. Now, I'm saying Llano because that's how Texans say it, but I'm pretty sure in like the Spanish origin of the word, like 2 L's is a Y, so I think it's Llano. And I know there's a winery somewhere on that river, the Llano Estacado Winery, because there was something I did in college that we went there. So anyway, we're gonna call it Llano, but it's probably Llano. Okay, so that's where we're going today. It's an hour and 45 minutes away from San Antonio, and so we got a little bit of a drive ahead of us, but that's why we merged cars and we are off. Here we go. South Llano River State Park is located in Junction, Texas, which is close to 2 hours northwest of San Antonio. It's $5 to get in for ages 13 and up, and children 12 and under are free. There's plenty of parking at several different locations within the park to access the river and the different hiking trails. I was glad that I stopped into the park headquarters. I was able to ask the ranger some questions and picked up these neat activity journals for each kid. They can become junior rangers by completing the different activities. There is an old cemetery located on the property, and I would not have been able to find it without the help of a park ranger. I would not have walked into these areas because it looks like they would be off limits, but that's the way to go to find the cemetery. There are actually 4 headstones that can be found within the walls of the cemetery, and this is right up my alley. I've always found these old gravestones in cemeteries to be fascinating. I wish I would pull over more often when I see them to check them out, but most of the time don't. So it was very interesting to walk around and find this at a state park. I loved it. While in the park, the kids stumbled upon a geocache. They actually opened it up and found some cool stuff inside, and it inspired them to want to learn more about these. We were bummed we didn't have a pen to log that we had found it on the notepad inside, but we are definitely going to look into geocaching in the future. This park is actually known for its wild turkey population. They are apparently really popular in the fall, so we were hoping to find some while we were hiking through the turkey roost area. The placards on the interpretive trail taught us about the vegetation in the area. There are compost bathrooms available for use in the park. This is a step above a porta potty, in my opinion. One thing we really liked about the trails is that there were several places to sit down on and take a break if you needed to. Most of them were in shaded areas, which was very welcoming as we were hiking the Turkey Roost Trail. It actually ended up being pretty long, and the kids were getting really hot. If you're planning to hit the trails in this Texas heat, make sure to bring plenty of water. My kids and I invested in some hiking backpacks. They can hold up to 2 liters of water each, and we actually have been using them all the time now. We loved all the reminders found within the park of what Texas used to be like long ago. These things were very cool to see. There was a bird blind available for bird watching that overlooked an inviting sanctuary. We saw several birds popping in and out as we stood there. Since this trail was a long one and there wasn't a whole lot of shade, the kids started fading quickly.
This is how I feel right now.
Go get the car? Finally, as we were on our way to grab a picnic table and eat lunch, we were able to spot a few wild turkeys hiding in the brush. There were several picnic tables to choose from, but we opted for one with a riverside view. It was beautiful. If you are heading here, you should definitely bring lunch from home. This is a must because it seemed like shortly after arriving, all the kids wanted to eat. We didn't want to leave for lunch, so we were prepared with sandwiches and snacks. So we are enjoying our afternoon at South Llano River State Park. We went out for a hike, it got pretty hot. We decided to have a picnic lunch, and now we're going to check out the river. There were 3 different sections of the park that provided direct river access. However, there were narrow pathways, rocky and rugged terrain, or even maybe a flight of stairs that were involved in getting to the river. Once you make it down to the river though, it is well worth the journey. There wasn't much of a beach area as you enter the river. Although that section had been cleared out, it's not exactly what I would prefer. It really had more of the style that I don't care for, which is lots of vegetation and the exposed riverbank. I was constantly looking around to make sure I didn't have any snakes sneaking up on me. Luckily, we were not bothered. Water shoes are a must-have due to the rocky riverbed that is very slippery because of the algae. It's way more safe than wearing flip-flops. I liked that one side of the river was shallow and rocky, and the other side was actually pretty deep. The kids couldn't touch and really liked swimming in that part.
Look how deep it is. We're done. I lost my shoe.
In the deeper section the boys were swimming in, we found several turtles that were swimming around, poking their heads out of the water. They stayed away from us though, but not exactly where I wanted to swim. What'd you find?
Clam.
Logan kept finding freshwater clams in the shallow water. The kids had a blast trying to fish these guys out. They also did a great job of locating interesting rocks underneath the water.
I think I just heard all y'all.
Oh!
Dude! Look, I found the rotten ear.
Guys, look! Mom, look! Mom, look! Mom, mom, mom.
I was disappointed in my fellow Texans to see so much trash left behind at the river. We made sure to gather up what we found and dropped it in the trash can on the way out. What are you doing? One of the trails led us to Buck Lake. This actually used to be a section of the Llano River, but it was cut off from the main river after a flood. Now it's an actual lake. Buck Lake had several great fishing spots, including a small dock that you could actually walk out onto and fish from. No fishing for us today, but we did walk out onto the dock and look to see if we could spot any wildlife. Nothing much, but a few more turtles. Everything is bigger in Texas, including our critters. And one large and in charge guy that was prominent on every trail was the fire ant. You definitely don't want to wear flip-flops on these trails. Fire ant capital of Texas. We also had lots of little lizards running out to join us on our adventure. This park is also a great place to go paddling. We saw lots of kayaks out and about. We loved our day here so much, you can count on us coming back.
My favorite part about this is I get to swim in the deep end.
My favorite part of the river is because that it's like deep there. Happy?
So we are finishing up our afternoon at South Llano River State Park, and we had a really awesome time. We started the morning off hiking some trails. The kids started getting a little hangry, quote unquote, and we had a picnic lunch, went down to the river, hiked another trail, and now we're on our way back home. The scenery was so beautiful. The Texas Hill Country with the river running through it, I don't think you can get much more pretty than that. So I highly recommend this park if you're interested in getting out hiking with your children or even just a little bit of a fun time on the river. This is definitely the place to be. We'll see you next time, and remember, don't mess with Texas. Adventure time with the Texas Mom. Like and subscribe.